everyone, this is Dr. Daffy here at HealthFit.
And I'm Dr. Kevin.
And today we're going to go over something that we hear a lot these days about hip and knee pain when we run.
Yeah, so one of the big things that is, at least in our eyes, with the component of running is actually warming up. And so if you're curious about that, we do have another video with regard to that. The other issue too is actually not using your glutes well for when you're running.
So one thing with your glutes is that, one, it helps to keep your pelvis nice and stable and keeps it in a good position. So when you're running, if you can imagine, you're essentially balancing on one foot the entire time. Okay, so if you're unable to use your glutes properly, what most likely will happen is that when you pick up one leg and you're running this way, if your glutes don't hold, your knee goes in, which isn't great alignment for your knee or your hip. Okay, so that's probably a pretty good reason why. Another thing we see with a lot of running is a lot of knee pain, so pressure with running on your toes.
Yeah, and so just to be fair, right, we know that there are a lot of variations in how people run, and it's very challenging to modify that. These are just some things that we look at at the start, just to kind of get a sense of, okay, well, is there something more going on with the hip or the knee? And so when it comes to like knee pain, again, going back to the glutes, if you're not able to have good control as you're landing, then you may dip, your knee may dip in, and you're going to facilitate some more of that discomfort that you have, whether that's at the outside of the knee, by the kneecap, or whatever that might be. So being able to get a sense of like how you're actually engaging your hips, your glutes, is a very big component for being able to run well.
Right. Another thing is mobility. How mobile are you in your hip and your knee? If you're really tight, what's probably happening is that all your joints are kind of compressed. And imagine trying to run on compressed joints and you're just hitting it over and over again. And so some of you might feel some pinching at the hip or some like sharp knee pain, but that's because, again, warming up and loosening was also really important, but also being able to be active and mobile too. So when nowadays a lot of us are sitting at our desks quite a bit, ideally get up and move, get up and stretch, and we have a great video for that as well. So there's that. One more thing that you want to be conscious of when you're running is your core activated? So what that means is, are you using your core to keep you upright? And then what I notice in a lot of my patients is that when they start running, they're kind of like this, and they're kind of like this and kind of floppy, right? But ideally, you want to lift up, feel like there's a string pulling you up towards the sky or the ceiling, and lift out of your hips and your knees. Because if you imagine that you're here and heavy, that's a lot of impact on your knees and hips. So when you lift up this way, one, you're lighter and you feel lighter, and two, you're more stable. So when you're balancing on one leg, you're not sinking into it, but you're actually lifting out of it, which takes the pressure off of your knees and hips.
So your typical like mobility and strength stuff does not really get you moving the way that you want to, then it might be helpful to actually come and get checked up to see whether or not your glutes are firing, to see whether or not your core is stable the way that it needs to be, and you're engaging your muscles the way that you need to in order to run well. Again, the important thing to remember is that everyone has their own ways of running, but there's some common elements that we'd want to be able to address along the way. So if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to comment below or reach out to us at HealthFit, and we'd love to help you with that.
Thanks so much guys for watching, and again, have a great day and stay safe running.